start with the dollar because we're now seeing it approach a key technical level, a key support level. If you take a look at the Bloomberg, our viewers can see that the Bloomberg Dollar Index is now approaching this Bloomberg Dollar Spot 1220, 1216 level right now at 1223. That would be its 200-day moving average. It hasn't really breached that level since October. Bullish dollar positions seem to have evaporated now. When can the dollar find a bottom?
I think that the initial dollar weakness that we are seeing was a pro-risk response to a dovish Fed. That was until yesterday, where the story for the dollar has changed somewhat, given the concerns about Trump's possible policy delay as a result of not getting enough vote for to repeal the Obamacare. That could hold up the tax reforms, and this has taken a toll on the Trump reflation trade. So what we have seen since yesterday has been dollar sellers as well, but much more narrow in nature against the safe haven currencies. So in the near term, I think the story could be changing somewhat, but overall we are still in the camp where dollar is not going to be great, it's not going to be bad, it's going to be just good.
But you know what's happened with the dollar that's made this story even more compelling is that this weakness has come on the back of these gains in the euro as well. I mean, even before all of this political elections happen in France or Germany. So where can we see the dollar-euro pair headed now?
I think it's still stuck within the 106 to 108.50 range, although I am wary about upside euro risk, given that we are starting to see a divergence in the political concerns in Europe relative to the US. In US, we are starting to see concerns about policy paralysis in Washington. In Europe, there seems to be receding concerns about the European political risk. And that itself could drive euro higher. Plus the fact that the concerns, the dollar itself could also weaken further against the euro as a result of the concerns about Trump policy delay. So potentially, if it does break 108.50, we could see euro heading to 110.
So in terms of the euro again, and I've put this up on a chart just to quantify some of that risk, and you should pull it up on your Bloomberg as well. What I've done here is I've put the odds check for the French elections of 2017 of Le Pen winning, right? So implied from the betting odds, that's your line in white. Your line in blue, that's your euro-yen, 3-month risk reversal. And you can see how that's eased off based on the latest poll figures. What kind of range are we talking? What's going to be the next catalyst for the euro?
I think the next catalyst for euro could be, provided that the political concerns recede, this could support the euro. And in the background itself, I think the catalyst for euro could be the solid momentum that we've seen in the Eurozone economy. I mean, already there's been chatter about the ECB itself further tapering the QE and possibly even raise rates before ending QE. I think that itself could support the euro. So there could be room for euro to strengthen if the political theories in terms of the French elections recedes further.
I need you to weigh in on something for me. We're seeing the capital flows rushing into a lot of the emerging market benchmarks. The reality is that there's still a lot of risks in that space. You're bearish on the ruble and you're bullish on the Indian rupee. Why is that?
Well, I think the ruble that there's been a lot of money chasing after carry in this low volatility environment. Until yesterday, I mean, we're not quite sure how volatility will pan out in terms of how the concern over Trump policy delay will pan out in light of this Obamacare repeal vote today. But I think in terms of the ruble story, is well understood, well known. It's still a good story, but it's well positioned, and it's also vulnerable to further oil price decline, the ruble itself seems overvalued relative to the oil price. By contrast, further decline in oil price would benefit the rupee, where India is an oil importer. And given what we have seen in terms of the political picture in India itself, that should provide continued support for the rupee. So I think if you're looking for carry, look for relative value, and long rupee, short ruble could be the one.